I wanted an irrigation system for my vertical garden, but the old garden water pump was not working anymore. The first thing that came to my mind was to call a plumber and get him to install a new pump, but then I thought that installing a garden water pump should not be that difficult. Well, I gave it my best shot. You decide if this is really a do-it-yourself project or not. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hydro Garden channel, the home of vertical food gardening. Whenever I needed to water plants in the garden, I just had to connect a hose to the garden tap and then I would get plenty of water from the rainwater tank. Everything was just fine until the old water pump stopped working. I didn't know what was wrong with it, but I was sure it was going to be more expensive to get it fixed than to purchase a new one. As I wanted to install an irrigation system for my experimental vertical garden, I thought this would be a good opportunity to set up a new water pump with a low pressure option. The pressure you get from a normal water pump is normally too much for an irrigation system. Of course, I still wanted to have the option of having good pressure in case I wanted to clean some pots or something else. What I really wanted was a dual system that would give me both high and low pressure as needed. Initially, I was planning to go to the local hardware store to purchase the new water pump and other parts, but on this occasion I knew I was going to need a lot of guidance and information, so I went to the local irrigation shop instead. I am glad I did. The guys at the irrigation shop knew exactly what I was trying to achieve, and they recommended all the parts I was going to need for my project. They showed me step by step how I needed to connect the parts in the right order so I would end up with the system I wanted. After I felt confident I knew what needed to be done, the first step was to remove the old water pump. The guys at the irrigation shop told me I needed to place the new pump on a firm base. They offered me a good one they had available, but the project was already getting a bit expensive, so I decided to make a base with a piece of timber instead. The water pump has two openings, one at the front and one at the top. Water goes from the rainwater tank to the opening at the front of the pump, so that is the place where I needed to install the filter. After the filter was installed, I needed to work on the pump opening at the top. I wanted to create two paths, one going straight up for the high pressure and one going horizontal to provide low pressure flow. The horizontal path included the addition of a device to reduce the water pressure, so I could use that for the irrigation system. Now that I have finished setting up all the fittings, it was time to connect the pump to the rainwater tank. I wasn't sure if this was going to work, so I was quite relieved when I saw water flowing from both the high and the low pressure taps. I still wanted to see if the pump would be strong enough to push water all the way to the end of the hose. Yes, it worked. And to celebrate the successful installation of the water pump, why not give my experimental vertical garden its first watering directly from the rainwater tank?